Hey, it's Hannah here with India, who's a bit grubby because she rolled in here literally just as I was setting up. But anyway, we're here today to talk about targeting. So targeting is one of the most useful techniques you can teach your horse, and it's one of the first things that we teach at Connection Training. And it's got loads of different uses, from leading, loading, groundwork, lateral work, even into the riding as well. So some of the questions that people have are around, what targeting actually is, the different types of targeting, what types of target you can use, and then how you can use targeting to help train other behaviours as well. And that's what this video series on targeting is all about. Okay, so targeting usually refers to the horse touching an object with their nose when they ask. So, for example, if I hold this target out to India, good girl, you can see that she just knows to reach out and touch that with her nose. So there are different types. You can have body targeting as well, where they target different body parts to you, and which is a slightly different thing. Usually when people talk about targeting, they're talking about an object that the horse touches with their nose, unless they state otherwise. So that's what we're really focusing on, is the different types of nose targeting that you can do with your horse. So there are 3 different types of nose targeting, and they all have slightly different benefits. So the first one is just touching a target. So you can see that India knows here, if I say touch, good, and then a high one, that she just knows to touch that wherever I hold that out. Now this is the first type of targeting that you'll teach your horse. It's the simplest, and it really teaches them what the actual targeting behaviour is. It then also has other applications as well, which you'll see in the next video, but can be used for things like de-spooking and things as well. Good. Come around. Nice. Good. Good. Now the second type of targeting is following a target. Good. So you can see there that rather than touching the target, India's just moving towards it. So it's a completely different behaviour to touching the target, because they're just moving towards something without actually trying to touch it. It's kind of more of like a guide in that general direction, rather than I want you to touch something with your nose. They're just moving towards it. Now, as you can see, this type of targeting can really easily move into things like leading exercises, groundwork and lunging. You ready? Here you go, touch. Good. So the last type of targeting is a stationary target. So this is a target that stays still. So it's not one that you're holding, and it's one that you can send the horse to and that they know to stand at. Good girl. So this is one that can be used for stationary behaviours like tacking up or teaching standing tied, standing in the horse box, that kind of thing. But it can also be used really well if you're riding, because you can ride 2 stationary targets, and I use that to teach steering, to teach walking on, and also later on for things like jumping as well. So the real benefit that targeting gives you is that the horse is moving towards something, which makes it really easy to clearly guide the horse where you want them to go, and to explain what you want the horse to do. It's really important as well that they're moving towards something. So if you're getting a horse to walk on by walking to a target, they're thinking about going forwards, knowing where they're going, which is quite different if you're trying to get them to walk on, say, by chasing them from behind, where they tend to have their attention behind them and to be sometimes a little bit worried about what's going on as well. Good girl. So when you're teaching targeting, one of the most important things is to really focus on as always, the emotional state of the horse. So you want your horse to be really enthusiastic about touching targets, especially if you're going to use them for difficult behaviours like overcoming fear, de-spooking, loading, that kind of thing. But also, you want it to be nice and relaxed too, because it can get a bit frantic where they're like bashing it, grabbing it, and those kind of emotions are not very helpful either. So it's always looking for this perfect balance of relaxation and motivation, which is something we talk about all the time, and of course is one of the trickiest things to get it consistently. But that's really where what you're aiming for with the horse, and when you've got that enthusiasm, you can really use it to great benefit to teach lots of other behaviours, especially or including overcoming some tricky challenging exercises and behaviours. So in terms of what to use as your target, as you've seen, I've just used some different ones. So my handheld target is one that I made. It's simply an extendable selfie stick, and I have just screwed a toilet float onto the end, and I actually really like it. It cost me a few quid, and it's very durable and robust. One of the things that you want to make sure is that if your horse does bite it, it's not going to come off in chunks, and it's also quite nice to have an extendable one because you can use it at different lengths. The other thing that's really nice is if you've got like a clear stick and then a target bit. I know that's your target, you're doing very well. That you've got a clear target bit for the bit that your horse is going for, especially if you're working on something like keeping your horse out of your space when leading and things. It's really nice to be able to extend it and have that clarity that they're going to stay over there away from you. Good girl. But you can use pretty much anything as a target. So some nice things include like anything kind of extendable. So I know people have used dusters and fly swatters and things like that that extend and have a nice solid end on. You can also just stick things onto the end. So this one, the follow target that you saw, this is a pool noodle. Another target is a bit of a pool noodle, which is great because you can just stick it on the end of, this is an old lunge whip or a piece of, oh, that's her, talking of body targeting, that's her cue for Spanish walk. She knows to target that, the front of her leg to that. Good girl. Sorry, I'm confusing you, and probably you lot as well who are watching. So we'll go back to nose targeting only. But the pool noodles are great because obviously you can cut them to size, but do just watch out because they can take chunks out of them. And also they do deteriorate, which isn't great because it obviously creates quite a lot of waste, which isn't ideal. This one is an old juggling club, and again, no, this one isn't for that, and you can touch that one, good girl. And this one is again really nice because it's very durable and it's got a very clear handle with a bit that we want the horse to touch at the end. And of course we just use a cone for our stationary target. But you can use pretty much anything, like just taping a bottle onto a stick, something like that. It doesn't have to be fancy, although you can buy targets as well. And when you're starting, the best idea is to get something that's different from your horse's regular things that they interact with, so it's really clearly something that they're learning and a new exercise for them. Okay, so that's been a little very quick overview of what targeting is, and in the next videos in the series you're going to learn exactly how, or get some lots of inspiration and ideas and see how touching a target, following a target and a stationary target can really be used for training lots of other behaviours. So it's not just teaching targeting for the sake of teaching targeting, it's really using it to help train your horse lots of different exercises as well. Good job, End. Can you touch?
I really hope you enjoyed this video on targeting and are really inspired to go and use it with your horse. Do check out the other videos in the targeting series for more ideas, and if you want to know exactly how to use it, then do check out the Connection Training Club. This is an online membership site and we have all of these home study courses, and these have hundreds of videos in that give you step-by-step training lessons on exactly how to train all of the things that you've seen in this video, right from how to introduce the target to using it for de-spooking or for loading, for riding, for lunging, for free jumping. All of these bits are all in the home study courses. We also have loads of other pieces too in the club, so you can get support through the forum and the Inside Track blog, which has extra videos and audios for members only. You can join Rachel and I live in our Q&As and access all of the Q&A recordings as well. We do monthly fun challenges, we've got coaches, and just loads. You can meet up with other members, loads of really fun stuff. So if you want to find out more and join our really warm, friendly, and supportive and fun community from all over the world, then go to connectiontraining.com. You can find out more about us there. And if you click on the tab, Learn CT Online, join the CT Club, you can find out more information there and sign up. I can't wait to see you there.